This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the New Media Production Studio. The lead stories are California may need its last nuclear plant after all. The Samsung Air has been pardoned, and you won't believe why. Artemis 1 rollout will be live. And the CIA is accused, yes, the CIA is accused of spying on Julian Assange's visitors. I want to welcome you to episode 1618 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, August 15th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider by becoming a Geek News Central insider with a $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25 monthly donation, or a one-time donation as well. Hey, want to give a warm welcome to all the brand new listeners of the show. Thanks for being here. Make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com. When you're on the website, follow or subscribe to the podcast. Of course, we want you to sign up for the newsletter as well. The newsletter contains everything that I'm going to talk about today, delivered directly to your inbox. You can always join our chat room at geeknews.chat or our Discord server. Those links are available within the show notes at geeknewscentral.com. You can always contact me via email, geeknews@gmail.com, or on Twitter at geeknews. You can, of course, follow me on Facebook as well. All the partner shows are linked to geeknewscentral.com, includes the new media show, the GNC Week in Review with Scott and Kirk. Of course, we have the Gadget Professor with Mr. Don Bain. Again, all those links are at geeknewscentral.com. That's where you come back to Moonbase Alpha to find everything. And, of course, you can subscribe or listen to the show any place your heart desires. We do want to thank our sponsor tonight. Our sponsor, of course, is the longest-running continuous sponsor of a podcast. That's our good friends at GoDaddy.com. If you're looking for a deal, looking to save money on a brand new domain name or a hosting account, we've got it for you. My promo codes are checked daily to make sure they work. 30% off a new product purchases available. $4.99.coms or newer transfer domains for new customers only. $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year of the free domain, or $2.99 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year, again with a free domain, or a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. All of these codes, every single one of them, is available to you right now at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Save money, save big money by using my promo codes. It's time to start a new business, to start a new website, start a blog. Really, every opportunity it is possibly available for you starting an online website and being successful can be managed and executed at GoDaddy.com. Definitely check out all their products and services. Take advantage of my promo codes. At 30% off new product purchases is a big one. And it's the one that's probably the most underutilized code. Go over there and use that code. And, of course, that $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year, there's no better deal than that. Includes a free domain. So you get up, get running, get started, really cheaper than even probably what many of you will spend for a dinner, for a single-person dinner. It's inexpensive to get going, right? So let's get going there, get something set up, get started, get online, do your thing. And, of course, we want to thank GoDaddy for being a longtime sponsor here at the Geek News Central podcast. So let me kind of catch you guys up real quick. As I mentioned last week, we're getting busy for two announcements. And this morning, I spent all the time beta testing the first one. And some of you came to the website may have noticed we had some issues. We were, again, testing things live with everything updated. And an update to PowerPress, and, long story short, we broke some stuff. So the dev team's working on fixes, and we'll go back at it tomorrow morning. And if everything looks like it's going to be final, we'll start cutting loose our first announcement tomorrow, with a full-on late tomorrow with a press release on Wednesday. But something very, very big is coming to GNC. If you come to the website on a regular basis, keep your eyes peeled, You're going to get a little bit insider to what is coming. All right. So there's this, my site's testing it, a few others. So if you want to see what we're announcing and testing, love to have you come over and give you a little pre-show. Now, it may come, it may disappear, it may be on the website for an hour and then off. Again, we're trying to keep things a little bit on the down low, but if you're on the website on a regular basis looking for a specific, just come to the website. That's all I'm going to say. And keep your eyes peeled. Podcast related. That's no more that I'm going to be able to reveal here on the show. If you see it, send me a comment. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or maybe you don't even notice. So there's a little bit of a tease. So some of you watching live are seeing something that's right over my shoulder here. And it's brand new. And it was sent to me by a company called Tidbyte, Tidbyt. And Tidbyte is a very interesting device. It basically allows me to put messages. Right now, I've got those of you watching video, you can see it says Geek News Central, New Media, subscribe, and then it's going to switch, and it talks about the Geek News Twitter followers, and we can watch that number go up as if more people follow. They see that number change, and then the next message that comes will be, got to wait a few seconds for it to load here, a matrix, the matrix thing is going up and down. And then the fourth element I have in rotation is a clock and temperature. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with this. Tie it into social, make messages, scrolling messages. You got a little app for it. And it's pretty slick. That app is gives you the ability really to set a whole bunch of different functions. In its example, you can set weather, clock, stock, news. You can do what's new. You can actually put a QR code on the screen, which is interesting. You can put little messages, sports rankings, sports scores, just for fun stuff. They got arcade stuff. We've got community highlights, and then it goes into stuff that's live, like weather and transit, and health and fitness, and planet Earth, and driving. So it gives these little information screens. Then there's, again, work, crypto, news, productivity, apps for developers. Again, I got the digital rain going. I got stuff for GitHub. Even the ability to show your schedule. Have some entertainment stuff. You can show what's playing on your latest Sonos playlist. What's going on in Steam. Arcade classics. Again, the social stuff. Twitter followers. YouTube. Put your own quote. Put Pokemon stuff on there. So it's a fun little device. I don't know what it costs yet. I haven't went over their website. They just sent it to me and literally set it up about 15, 20 minutes before the show started today, and it's been up. I was worried the cameras would actually be able to pick it up, and I was looking at the screen in the main studio, and it looks like you can. So, again, Tidbyt, and it's going to be fun. We're playing with it, and I'll have probably a full review it on the website at some point here in the near future. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the content tonight. Oh, before I go, almost forgot. We did get a boost. For those of you that have switched to using Fountain, congratulations. And I got a boost from Dave Jones who said, hey, Todd, thought this might have been you. And what he was linking to, he sent 2,112 sats, and he linked to the article that we talked about in the last show about the man who built his own broadband to avoid expensive bills, and how he got $2.7 million from the government. So anyway, so Dave sent this over not knowing. I don't think that he talked about it during the show. Thought, hey, was that you? No, it's not me. But 2112 sats from Dave Jones. We got 50 sats from Messiah Podcast, so thanks for that. But again, the Fountain app. for Android or iOS. Start using it. Subscribe to the show. Earn money earn sats while you're listening to the show. Donate those sats back to the show. Great way to make a donations to the show. If every one of our listeners did that, if every one of you started using the Fountain app, it might actually account to something significant. So definitely think about using the Fountain app. All right. There's other Podcast 2.0 apps as well. And, but maybe I'll start recommending some, but the one I'm using right now is Fountain. I love it. Give it a try. You notice I'm not promoting Apple Podcasts? No, Apple Podcasts pays me nothing. Fountain does if you decide to boost while you're listening to the show. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the first content topic. The CIA has been accused of illegally spying on Americans visiting Assange in the embassy. So when he was in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, it's being accused that during the 2017-2018, 4 American citizens and hundreds of others visited him, who was at the time seeking political asylum at the Ecuadorian embassy. Before meeting the WikiLeaks founder, visitors were required to hand over their smartphones, laptops, and other electronic devices to a company called UC Global. Once they surrendered their electronics, UC Global, which the lawsuit alleges was acting under orders from the CIA, apparently then copied information stored on the devices according to the lawsuit. Now, you are no longer on U.S. soil, UK soil. You are on Ecuadorian soil. So, apparently, according to this lawsuit, and alleging that their stuff was stolen. Now, if you're going to go visit someone who has been accused by the United States of espionage and a few other things, and I don't think that's his exact charges, but if you are wanted and you're going to go see him, don't you think you should take a burner phone or leave your phone at the hotel, not carrying it with you? Accordingly, the scheme to snoop on the visitors at the embassy got it started at Las Vegas hotel. And yes, it is portrayed as every bit the typical beginning of a spy thriller movie as it sounds. But UC Global won a contract to provide security at the Ecuador's London embassy starting in 2012. In 2017, according to court documents, UC Global CEO, which the lawsuit referred to as Morales, attended a private security industry conference called the Shooting, Hunting, and Outdoor Trade Show, or SHOT Convention, at the Las Vegas Sands Hotel. While at the conference, he was allegedly recruited to spy on Assange and his visitors on behalf of the CIA. Upon his return to Spain after the SHOT convention, defendant Morales announced to his employees that the company would now be operating in the big league and for the dark side with the CIA. The Americans, Morales told his employees, would find them lucrative contracts around the world. So, interesting. You're gonna go into any place that is not U.S. soil. You are subject, or if someplace that have actual rules, because it wasn't U.S. soil, it was in the U.K. Again, they can do whatever they want with your device. So it's just like me. If I ever go to Hong Kong, no way. Matter of fact, I never want to go to Hong Kong. But if I ever did, I would not go through the country with a device that I cared about, that, could potentially be scraped. No, thank you. Moving on, the NASA's Artemis 1 moon rocket rollout. How to watch this? Well, the Mega Moon's rocket journey to space starts with getting a ride to the launch pad. So Tuesday, August 16th, rather than the 18th. So they're going early. So you can start watching at YouTube at 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. The actual roll is targeted for as soon as 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's a multi-hour exercise, so you're not just going to have to hop in and watch. And again, it takes a while to move this thing. It takes the big vehicle, takes the crawler transporter 2 to move the SLS system to the launch pad. So anyway, this is the first step. And very fast coming will be the actual launch. So exciting times are ahead. Samsung, man, oh man, this is amazing. Samsung Hair has been pardoned after doing time for bribery. Lee was already out of jail on parole after spending 18 months in prison on bribery charges. Now, the true value in the pardon lies in the permission for Lee to engage in business activities. So, why do you think that South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol issued the widely anticipated pardon for the Samsung heir and Vice Chairman Lee Jae-yong that came into effect today? Well, here's the reason. This is amazing. In order to overcome the economic crisis through economic revitalization, will reinstate Samsung's Electronics Vice Chairman Lee Jae-yong, who recently ended his sentence execution, states the machine translation of a government announcement issued last Friday. Lee's pardon was announced along with the clemency of 1,693 others to mark South Koreans' Independence Day. And basically, they want him back to work. They want him to get back to work. He was actually banned from doing business for 5 years. They cut that to 2, which essentially now erases everything, and he's can go back to work. So imagine being pardoned because you need to help the country survive. Let's just forget the $38 million in bribes you did. Wow. Now, this is amazing. On Friday, California Governor Gavin Newsom sent a series of aggressive climate proposals to state legislation. In a separate but related move, his administration is circulating potential legislation that would allow the state's last nuclear power plant to continue operating past its planned shutdown in 2025. The proposed legislation is remarkably complicated by its seemingly simple goals, already facing a backlash from environmental groups. Yet it has to be passed by the end of the month when the current legislative session expires. Why? Why, you say, do California wants to keep a nuclear power plant running? Why? Why would they? Well, because they have an ambitious set of climate goals. So, climate goals includes nuclear power. Well, net carbon neutrality. So, they are going to keep the nuclear power plant going. They want to because it doesn't contribute carbon emissions. Oh, did we forget about this? Yes, it's got nuclear fuel. It's pretty amazing to think. Why aren't we building more nuclear power plants? Ireland is already facing massive power shortages because of the data centers that they build all over. Why would we not consider nuclear again when rolling blackouts have been happening across the United States? Why would we not consider nuclear when we're trying to charge electric vehicles and make the switch? Yes, when nuclear power plants go sideways, it's pretty ugly. But on the most part, they've been pretty stable. And here's this one that's right beside the Pacific Ocean. It's really amazing. It really, really is that they would consider this. Now, they still want to have a grid that doesn't rely on nuclear power. but doing so will require an absolutely insane amount of renewable energy to be able to put in place. California's been covered in solar panels and batteries. What's more dirty? Some nuclear rods or nuclear pellets, or the tens of thousands of millions of batteries that will end up needing to be recycled somehow? Seems to me a lot less waste when it comes is nuclear. Yes, it's more dangerous, but hey. So time will tell. Hey, Toby, thanks for saying hello. If you're watching live today, make sure you say hello, whether it be on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you may be watching. TikTok adds an AI image generator, but it's no true AI. It's a simplified nature of the feature that might be intentional. If you want AI to create images from text, you just need a popular social app. TikTok has introduced a rudimentary AI green screen effect in its Android and iOS apps that turns your text descriptions into artwork. It's much simpler than OpenAI, DALL-E 2, producing abstract blogs rather than photorealistic depictions, but it might do the trick if you have an original background for your latest video. So, TikTok, going virtual. Porsche has inked a 25-year solar power deal at its Atlanta headquarters. I didn't know Porsche had an Atlanta headquarters. The new solar panels will cover a significant portion of the facility's annual energy requirement. So they've worked with Cherry Street Energy to create and operate a solar microgrid at 1 Porsche Drive, the name for the combined U.S. headquarters and Porsche Experience Center in Atlanta. So, interesting on that move. If you're a big company, why not? You should, a big company like that should be able to afford as much solar as possible. Ring doorbell footage TV show gets green light. Oh my goodness. Ring and MGM Studios, two of Amazon's biggest acquisitions, slated to launch a TV show this fall featuring footage from controversial smart home cameras. Ring Nation will consist of half-hour episodes made up Ring doorbell footage and commentary by comedian Wanda Sykes. Viewers can mix the same funny, bizarre, and heartwarming footage they typically find racking views on Facebook or TikTok. Yep, probably a lot of people stealing packages. Probably that's what it's going to be. So I'm sure it's just going to be like America's Funniest Videos. Submit your Ring doorbell's video footage. Apple's lost a lawsuit, and they're going to pay $30.5 million to California employees who weren't paid while they had their badge searched at work after a judge okayed a settlement in the 9-year case. Workers said they lost out wages while waiting for their baggage to be searched for stolen goods at the end of each shift. So they lined people up, made them open their bags, search their bags. So they're going to, each of those individuals is going to get about $1,400, $1,328, I guess is the exact number. Apple has allegedly threatened to fire an employee over a viral TikTok video. Now, Apple folks, I talk to Apple team members all the time. What went down? I'm getting a yellow message here. Let me see what the message is. Oh, okay. We got to fix that. Drive D's almost full. Apple's allegedly threatened to fire an employee who posted a TikTok video with basic iPhone security tips. I've talked to a lot of Apple employees, and everything is off the record or under NDA. I'm NDA'd up real heavily right now on some stuff that we're putting together with Apple that was kind of announced, but still I don't talk too much about it. And this employee says she was told that she breached company policy by identifying herself as an Apple employee and posting about Apple-related topics. So she replied to someone that had lost her phone and received a threatening text unless she removed the iPhone from her Apple ID. And so anyway, lock your phones. So, yep, she said something she wasn't supposed to, giving advice and acknowledging who she worked for. So I hope Apple gives her a pass. Bumble, a dating app, I believe, experiments with group chats, polls, and video calls for its new social networking feature called Hive. Bumble revealed more of its plans to strengthen its social networking feature, which saw the company's shares slump over quarter two earnings. Now, new images show what Bumble has been developing as part of its best friend or friend finding feature, a change that could help the app attract new audiences just beyond young singles. Specifically, Bumble BFF has been testing new communities offering it's called Hive, which the images show may include support like group chats, polls, and video calls. So if you use Bumble and you use the BFF feature, check it out. The government will soon hand you $4,000 to buy a used electric car. Now, if I was going to buy a used electric car, number one, how old is it? Number two, how many charges has it had? Number three, I'd want to test drive it for at least 2 or 3 days. Full charge to dead is what I would want to do on that at a minimum. If an electric car was rated for, let's say, 250 miles of range was new, don't expect to travel that far. EV batteries tend to lose around 2.3% of their capacity annually unless it's one of the Ford products. Factors like hot climates and repeated fast charging can accelerate deterioration. And another thing you should watch out for is what does the replacement cost? Buyers should do diligence regarding used EV's battery health before buying. Would not buy a used electric vehicle without having a high degree of confidence in what the current state of that battery is. Shoppers can order state of health check on a vehicle through a startup called Recurrent. Taking an extended test drive could also shed a light on vehicles' remaining range. It's also a good idea to check if the battery is still under warranty. Ultimately, buying any used car is going to involve risk, and electric cars have as high a risk as anything. But it's part of this tax deal. New federal tax incentive is coming for used electric car purchases. Following up from last week, Signal says third-party data breach exposed 1,900 phone numbers through the Twilio security breach. So apparently the data has already been misused. They've shut most of it down. But anyway, 1,900 phone numbers. YouTube may get in the game by launching a channel store for streaming service. In other words, you can stream and sell stuff just like Amazon does and others. Did you guys know that? You guys can actually have a streaming channel and sell stuff on Amazon. Roku has a situation. Apple has a subscription hub as well. So, you have a channel store and sell whatever goods from wherever, I guess. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory made its 1 millionth car. And, of course, Tesla's made over 3 million vehicles to date. And it started production in 2019, but it's ramped up to a point where it become the largest EV factory on the planet. Its annual production rate topped 800,000 by 2021, making it crucial to Tesla's record-setting year. Gigafactory Shanghai is now the company's main export hub, delivering cars to Europe and other key markets in addition to China. So, congratulations to them. Facebook Marketplace and DoorDash team up. You're like, what? Drivers for DoorDash are delivering items that consumers purchase from Facebook Marketplace as part of a new partnership between the delivery app and Meta. According to the Wall Street Journal, the deal is an attempt to get more people, especially younger ones, to use Meta-owned Facebook. For DoorDash, the partnership boosts its ambition to expand into delivering more than food. The service lets Facebook users purchase and receive items from Marketplace without leaving their homes. It can deliver items that fit in a car trunk and up to 15 miles away. People familiar with the plan said deliveries would be made within 48 hours. Most Marketplace stuff I want to go see. I don't want to just buy it online. There's a new monitor for $3,500. You too can have this beautiful curved monstrosity. It's like a 3-in-1 monitor in one, but it can act as one monitor. It just has a huge huge amount of space. This thing is incredible. It's the Samsung 55-inch Odyssey Arc, and it takes gaming monitors to hold. Yes, 55-inch. You heard me correct. And you can actually flip it and have 3 segments on the screen. And of course, you got to have this thing far enough back away from you to really make sense. But this thing is amazing. You're going to need a serious video card to drive this thing. And it has 4 HDMI ports. And you can output content from both simultaneously. So very, very cool. Here's a picture of it with the having 3 screens in one going on. And then it's standing up. So, yep, but $3,500, ladies and gentlemen, this is what this thing costs. So it's not cheap whatsoever, but quite the beauty. Need more screen. There you go. Hey, the Guardian's talking about the U.S. CHIP Acts and getting the funding is just the start. They're actually saying by the time all this stuff is built, the chip shortage will be over. I don't believe that. You know, chips are just going to continue to grow in need and density. And I just don't see, what happened? Did I actually run out of hard drive space? I did. Oh, that isn't that interesting. Glad we're still streaming. That's what happens when I don't monitor the hard drive space on the TriCaster. It didn't give me much warning either that it was almost full. But anyway, the U.S. CHIPS Act, and there's a little detail here about what's going to happen, who's going to be helped, who's going to be hurt, what's happening in the rest of the world, and so forth. So I'll have the link in the show notes for you to review. Well, more data centers are coming to Ireland despite energy concerns. South Dublin County Council bans on build-outs, but it's to be overturned by the government. So it appears that they're already saying the Commission for Regulation of Utilities warning last year that data centers are having major impact on the Irish electricity network, and the country could be facing prospects of blackouts unless measures were taken to manage the balance between supply and demand. Statistics this year from Ireland's Central Statistic Office published figures showing energy use by data centers had now outgrown the power consumption of all rural homes in the country added together. It said the percentage of metered electricity consumed by data centers in Ireland rose by 5% in 2015 to 14% in 2021. This compares with 12% of the amount of power consumed by rural residential consumers during the same time. So that's not a small number. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Popular place to build data centers. Uber Eats. Well, not only food, but they're now delivering office and school supplies. The Office Depot team will help you get binders and pens on time. You do it through Uber Eats. So you can get it from 900 Office Depot and Office Max stores across the United States. If you need a flurry of binders and pencils, you can have them delivered during your lunch break. And you avoid a delivery fee and receive a 5% discount if you're an Uber One subscriber who spent at least $15 on purchases. But finding this home delivery stuff is pretty handy. Android 13 arrives for Pixel phones starting today. So those of you who have a Pixel, be on the lookout for that update. HBO and HBO Max are reportedly laying off 70 production staffers as streaming service reality and kids programming teams have been downsized. The major cost-cutting drive at Warner Brothers is continuing as companies reportedly laying off 70 across HBO and HBO Max. Layoffs account for around 14% of the staffers across 2 divisions. HBO Max nonfiction team is being downsized, which isn't surprising given the influx of reality and documentary programming from the Discovery side of the business. So they're removing redundancy as well. So we'll see. We'll see how the axe will continue to fall across these services. And we know that CNN Plus never made it, even out of the gate. Of course, Russia announced it's going to be leaving the International Space Station. They're already trying to show off what their new space station is going to look like. Now, remember, it took them many, many years to get the last module to the International Space Station. So, don't think that they're going to do anything too fast. But Reuters reports the country's Roscosmos space agency shared a model of the future space station. The orbital facility would launch in 2 phases, starting with 4 modules and expanding to 6 with a service platform. The design would accommodate 4 people in rotating tours. So they're going to go it alone. They're going to phase these launches sometimes between 2025 and 2030. And the second phase would arrive between 20 and 2035. And there could be a long interval between Russia's touted ISS exit and a 2024 functional replacement. And with Russia in kind of the crapper right now as far as the financial stuff and sanctions, we'll see. Sony's making a camera that hopes to make digital images immune to secret manipulation. It will cryptographically sign the pictures, but you're going to have a $2,500 camera body. The Sony Alpha 7 IV will be the minimum equipment that you'll be required to have to do this. And if you're if you shoot Sony, this is good news for you. Of course, no lens is included in that camera, but $2,500 to get cryptographically signed digital images. Zoom has fixed a security flaw that let attackers hijack your Mac. So this is a big deal. It updates Mac software to patch a vulnerability that let intruders take control of the systems. The video calling software's auto-update software not only had root-level access, but had a signature verification that you could fool simply by giving your package a familiar file name. A hacker could force your app to downgrade or otherwise enable exploits. This isn't the first time Zoom has grappled with security headaches, including for the Mac. In 2019, the company raced to fix a webcam hijack exploit. So make sure you update your Zoom. Of course, most of you, when you open your next Zoom session, will update with you when you need to be in a meeting in 30 seconds. Walmart has entered a streaming deal with Paramount Plus in a race with Amazon. So they struck a deal to offer Paramount Plus streaming services to subscribers of its membership program in a push to better compete with Amazon. Members of Walmart Plus will get Paramount's Essential Plan, which costs $4.99 per month and includes commercials. It also offers a $9.99 per month service without ads. So anybody actually got a Walmart, what is it called? Walmart Plus membership? I didn't even know they had one, to be honest with you. Maybe I did, but didn't pay attention to it. Virgin Orbit trims losses and eyes 2 final launches for the year. Second quarter revenues at 0. Wow. Those should jump to $12 million following successful flights from Cornwall. Virgin Orbit is burning less money. Losses for the company's second quarter were $33.3 million, down from $44.6 million. Revenue stood at 0, down from $1.7 million. The company was quick to point out that revenues would jump for the third quarter as it recognized more than $12 million revenue following its 4th consecutive successful launch. So they're not doing so great. And look at SpaceX just hammering out the flights. Do you own an Epson printer? Epson says ink pad saturation behind end of service life warning on inkjet printers. Wow. It directs customers to maintenance reset utility so they can continue to print. At issue are ink sponges within the printer that soak up ink that gets squirted out during a process such as cleaning cycles. According to Epson, these sponges can get saturated over time. Depending on the level of use, the company's stated support page updated last week, the product may reach a condition where satisfactory print quality cannot be maintained or components have reached the end of their usable life. Naturally, Epson will be delighted to recycle the old printer and sell customers a new one. But those same customers are understandably a little disgruntled. To make matters worse, the manner in which the hardware measures the saturation of pads appear to be a little more than a counter, which can be reset to extend things a little, using Epson's maintenance reset utility for Windows only. No Mac OS version available before the hammer blow of services required comes down. In its update, it advises user contact about its low-cost ink pad replacement service or cart the device off to a local certified technician. Amazing, isn't it? Printers and stuff don't die unless you don't take care of them. Got an email that came in for the show, and it was from Sam. He said, hey, at the end of the last episode, you asked what would you think of if you put another show into your feed. I would not mind if you played a promotional clip of another show, but if you constantly dropped other shows in your feed, I know for sure I'd swipe and delete them. If it happens long term, I'd seriously consider unsubscribing. Promos are fine, but your feed is there for GNC podcast. Please not do it. This is a little bit of an experiment because I know a lot of shows are doing this, just dropping another episode into the feed, and I'm not a fan of it. And I just wanted to see what your guys' reaction was. So, thank you for the feedback. It's what I expected to hear. No need to be doing promo clips or anything like that. And again, the reason, that I kind of brought this up is I'm going to be out for 2 weeks. So, just so you guys know, this Thursday will be the last show for 2 weeks as I'm out Dallas, Vegas, and Atlanta. And unless I find a way to get an episode out, which I don't know if I will, maybe. We'll see. If I sneak one in, I'll take a mic with me just in case. Maybe I can give you one midway in Vegas or something. Time will tell. All right, this is going to bring me to the end of the podcast. Of course, if you've got comments about today's show, it's very, very simple. Geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter @geeknews. Let's drive that Twitter follower subscriber count up. Those who've been watching the videos of the show, how do you like the new mix-up of stuff that I've been doing with the video backgrounds and all that? Love to hear from you there. And again, it's been my pleasure bringing the podcast. You take care of one another. Watch out for each other. Stay safe. And I'll be back with you on Thursday. Until next time, everyone, take care. See you next time. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.